Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have two hearings in a case with a family who are trying to get a protective order against the handyman that they hired to do some work for them after they claim he sent them hundreds of hateful and harassing texts. They think his behavior stems from substance abuse. The handyman, who seems less than sober when he first attends court, doesn't think he's done anything wrong. In fact, he says that the only purpose of those texts was to help the family stay safe. He says he doesn't care about the texts or protective orders or any of that crap. The only thing he cares about is the money he claims that they still owe him. What does the judge think of this mess? Let's find out.
Can you come on the Zoom call, please?
Do you hear me?
Could you activate your camera, please?
I believe it is activated.
It's not. Oh, there you are. There you are. So when were you served with this petition?
I think it was Saturday.
Okay. So are you prepared to proceed
Friday?
Serve, and let me finish, please. You need to be served within a certain period of time. Oh, we lost him. All right.
I was able to print this. It looks like it was
Okay, that's fine. But that, yeah. Okay, so we're going to have to wait for him to log back on there, Ms. Weaver, Ms. Sims.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, can you come back on, please, Mr. And activate your camera again, please.
I believe it's on. I apologize for the internet. I see myself.
Well, it makes one of us. There you are. I can see you now. Okay, so are you prepared to proceed here today, or given the late service, I can reset this for a week or two, probably two, and then come back and give you a chance to respond what's being alleged in their petition. Are you ready to go now, or do you want time to get ready for it?
No, I'm totally ready to go now. Honestly, the only thing I'm concerned about is payment because they owe me money.
Okay, nothing, that's not in front of me right now. The only thing that's going to be in front of me right now is whether they get an order or not, one way or the other.
Well, I don't care about that as long as, I mean, because I don't understand how I'm supposed to get my money from them and contact them. I sent them an invoice, and I actually, as it works out, the bank that I currently am banking with is going through a transition where it's Security State Bank transitioning into Giza Credit Union. So I call and I can't figure out whether they paid me or not. So that's all I really care about is getting paid.
Okay. So,
I don't care if I talk to them. I just want to know if they paid me or not.
Then we lost him again. What's that?
When was it served?
No, it's bad connection.
Your Honor.
Yes, I'm going to wait for him to come back. I don't want to talk to him without him being here, but now he's back. Okay, Ms. Sims, anything? What would you like to say?
The papers were served to Mr. Kalich on Thursday.
Okay, and that's still not enough time, ma'am, but that's
okay.
Go ahead. Okay, ma'am, Mr. Kalich, I need you to be quiet here for just a second.
Okay.
So what's this about money being owed to Kim, or is that a disputed, or what exactly?
No, we have hired Dan on numerous occasions to do various projects, and the billing we received was recent. There was one that he included in his text that was inflated and outrageous, but it looks like he's sent to us both a reasonable billing for the work that he has done. A phenomenal job, by the way. And but something has happened where the things went sideways with what all these text messages that were coming in.
So again, what's your is there an agreed amount you're going to pay him, or is that in dispute? And Mr. Kalich, I need you on screen there. Yeah, go ahead. So it sounds like you've had a business relationship with him for a while.
Yes.
So what is that a disputed amount or what exactly?
Part of it is disputed, yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get back on. I don't know if I'm on camera.
You're on now. Yeah, no, you're on now. I wouldn't talk with the other. So Mr. Kalich, I need you back on, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's not a temporary order being set in place. There's so folks can communicate with each other. You know, I'm not going to do this hearing with this glitchy technology because you keep losing, you're coming back, and you know,
I'm sorry,
on and off camera. Well, hang on, we're not just hear me out. You know, I get to make some decisions here, and here's what's going to happen here today. What's next month may look like?
Jeez.
It's pretty large.
About 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, let's see next Monday first of all.
You can see it.
Yeah, the next one probably isn't any for the next one.
Oh.
One.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do it for 2 weeks. Yeah. So Mr. Kalich, it kind of looks like I'm looking at a cat and some feet.
I know. I fucking gave up at this point. Like, I'm literally trying. I fucking gave up.
Here's, you know, you're in court, and I always appreciate it when people act and speak as if they are in court. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Zoom because it kind of lends an air of informality, which should be a formal proceeding. And so
I'm trying, dude. I'm literally trying. I'm literally trying.
Hey, remember what I said about not interrupting people?
Okay.
Don't interrupt me either.
Okay.
And so we're going to reset this for 2 weeks. You need to be back here, there, and then I'm going to require
Those are the new.
okay.
Them to pay me.
What's that? No, then we're going to have a hearing on this anti-harassment petition. If they pay you, and that's entirely up to them. That's not in front of me. You need to start your own lawsuit if you think you're not getting paid. But you need to be here in person for the anti-harassment petition.
All right, fair enough.
All right. And then so again, then this will be your notice. You're not going to get any notice other than this. You need to log back in 2 weeks from today.
So how do I ask them to pay me the money?
Well, I kind of think you did, first of all. And secondly, you know, I can't be given advice to one party or the other. You don't want me telling them how to present their case. My guess is, I mean, it's just between you folks. And so, you know, they've said they've appreciated your work. They agree they owe you some money. Apparently, there's a difference on how much, but I'm just not going to get in the middle of that. The only thing I'm here for is to whether or not an anti-harassment order should be entered.
Oh,
and
so
we're
what's
going to
your
make
decision on the anti-harassment order?
What's that?
What's your decision?
I'm not giving one. I'm telling them we're going to do this in 2 weeks when I know everyone's here and I'm looking people face to face, not face to foot.
Well, dude, fucking make a decision. You know it already. Why? Because at this point, this is harassment to me.
Okay. I'm sorry you consider
They
that
are
harassment.
harassing me.
Mr. Kalich, you're going to sign. You're going to sign off. We're going to reconvene in 2 weeks. And if you don't appear in person, then an order will get entered in their behalf.
And you
that's
know,
going
I
to
don't
conclude the
fucking
hearing here
care.
for today. We'll
All
see
I
you in 2
fucking
weeks.
care about is getting fucking paid. They owe me money. Fuck.
And then, can you get him off the call? Yeah. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Ms. Weaver and Ms. Sims, sorry, Ms. Sims, Mr. Weaver, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What time?
Is there a time, Your Honor?
9 a.m.
Okay, very
9
good.
a.m.
All right. Thank you.
Want up to take a seat? Okay, let me call your case up here. Thank you for being here, first of all. Second thing, when we met last time, which I believe was a week ago, either a week or 2 weeks ago, I'm just going to be upfront with you, and that I appreciate that you've dressed for court. You, in my view, engaged in a lot of inappropriate behavior on the Zoom call. And I just want to say at the outset that that's not going to be acceptable here today. Do you understand that?
I understand that, Your Honor. May I apologize?
You may.
Decorum in your courtroom last time.
I appreciate that.
Completely out of line, and I apologize.
Thank you. And so let's talk about the order then. So you've heard what I've said before about what unlawful harassment is. I'm going to swear in Ms. Weaver, who I think was speaking last time, and then I'll hear from Ms. Weaver. There's other people there with her, but she's the only named petitioner. And then after that, I'll hear from you. And then so Ms. Weaver, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And so if I remember right, and I encourage everyone to correct me if I'm wrong, he's done work for you in the past, and then is that kind of how this all started in terms of payment and all of that, or what exactly? How is it you need an order against Mr. Kalich?
Mr. Kalich, unprovoked, started sending hundreds of irrational and disturbing text messages to a thread that he created to me and to several of my family members on that thread.
Okay. And then what's this all about?
I'm not sure.
From your perspective, you must have some idea. And I hear all kinds, I hear neighbors getting fights with each other, domestic relations, which we saw earlier. And so I assume that this just didn't happen out of the blue. And so that he's not a stranger to you prior to all this.
No.
And so
he had
talk to me about that.
He had acted in good faith, and my understanding is that this is not the first occasion that he's targeted someone with these kinds of text messages. And I think the trigger possibly was alcohol and possibly some drug involvement. I'm not sure, but this is not normal behavior for what my experience was with Mr. Kalich.
Okay. And then how long have you known him?
Maybe 3 months.
Okay. And then did he do work for you at some point, or?
He had done some work for our local nonprofit, and also for my parents and my sister. And
Okay.
I had him working on a rental of mine.
Okay. And then how did that go? Or was that
fantastic?
Okay. And then has all this stopped?
The work is stopped.
When the order was entered, it stopped? Okay.
What did the work stop, or did the text stop?
What? I'm sorry?
I don't understand. Did the work stop, or did the text?
No. The harassment. We're here for a harassment petition. So
okay. So after about 16 hours of constant barrage of texting, I blocked.
I saw all them there, and I'm going to talk to him about them in a minute.
Okay. I blocked.
But go ahead. Continue on.
After about 16 hours, I blocked the text thread myself.
Okay. And then, well, let me hear from Mr. Kalich. and then I'll come back to you in a moment. Or actually, Mr. Weaver, is that Mr. Weaver behind you?
It is.
Okay, and so Mr. Weaver, I'll have you raise your right hand. He has two separate cases here with two orders. And do you swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And now, how is it that you need an order against? And Ms. Sims talked about the text. The texts are in the file, which I've read, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Kalich about it in a minute. What's your position on an order? Why do you need one?
Well, my main concern, I became very concerned when the text started talking about a 13-year-old daughter of one of our tenants. And that really was of concern to me because, you know, we had him working on rentals and going in and out of rentals and things, and it just didn't, it seemed like very not normal situation when he starts talking about us sending him in to a rental to work, which was not true. He was supposed to be replacing a faucet outside of the rental, and the tenant evidently invited him in to look at a plumbing problem she had. And that, as you can see by the transcript of the text, it was very concerning to me that he starts talking about a 13-year-old girl. And that, I think, is not appropriate and alarming to me.
Let me hear from Mr. Kalich. And so, Mr. Kalich, could you raise your right hand? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. So I have them up to me. You know, I kind of agree with Mr. Weaver there. These are some disturbing texts that anyone would be bothered to receive, I would think. So what's your response on their request for an order? And they say an order is appropriate, or you're not objecting, and then I can enter one, or do you think that no, we don't need an order? Or I just want your perspective on all of this.
First of all, I have no need to contact the Weavers anymore, because the only reason there's in the body of the text, if you've read them, you can see there's several reasons why I was reaching out to the Weavers. One of them was their alcoholic daughter.
Well, that's their business.
Correct, but I talked to the sheriff, and the sheriff said I should act on it. And I was trying to get them to respond so that they would say they're going to take accountability for Shanna going to the soccer game and driving her kids home. So I would not have to call the sheriff or on them, because the sheriff did recommend I call the sheriff on Shanna on Wednesday night. And those texts were prior to that, leading up to Wednesday night, when I would have had to call the sheriff. Also, I was upset because Diane, who is in the background there and could be sworn in if she wants to talk about it. Excuse me, not Diane, but Donna. I was upset because she did actually fire me in writing, saying that because of me only texting Donna personally, said that I was unsafe around the customers, which I never have been. Fired me in writing, and then sent me to go and take care of the rest of the items. And what Gene said is not true. That the only thing I did talk to him about was the faucet, because I needed to talk to him about what to do. But I was directed by Donna verbally, and she can testify to this, to go and finish the projects I was currently on. And I told Donna at that time, that morning, I said, Donna, if you did not trust me, you would not send me to your projects. And so I had permission from the renter. I had Donna's direct permission to go, she didn't say go to the house. She said, do the rest of the items, which included going into the house. I had the keys to the house. And so if I had, and then the daughter was sleeping, the 13-year-old daughter. So I knocked on the door, and no response. So I had authorization from the customer and from Donna to go in with my key and take care of the items on. And if I had somehow got in, saw that daughter say naked or something, I would have been in a terrible legal situation. And I was trying to emphasize to the Weavers that they put themselves in a terrible legal situation because of what Donna did by putting in writing I was unsafe around our customers and verbally directs me to go into the house with the customer when I had permission from the customer when there's a 13-year-old sleeping daughter. I don't need to go on that. You can get the idea. So I was incensed because of them putting me in that terrible legal situation. I was trying to tell them how stupid it was to let Donna put me in that themselves in that terrible legal situation. And I was trying to emphasize to them that they should change the locks that night on the door to the, which is the only thing to do because I had given my key back to the customer, but they don't know that. They don't know that I hadn't made a copy or anybody else for that matter. There's other people that had keys to that property. And so if they're going to fire me for being unsafe around their customer, they better follow up and change the locks. And I'd like you to ask them if they even changed the locks that night. And I guarantee you they didn't. All they did was they notified the customer and the customer told them that I was a perfect contractor and had never done anything remotely questionable and did perfect work for her. And they did not change the locks that night because they don't have a carpenter to do it. Right. Simply. And did not take the right, I mean, should have hired a locksmith that night. So that I was trying to emphasize those things to them in a very brutal way.
Yeah, well, we can agree with that.
And the only remotely threatening thing is a hypothetical, which is if something had happened that night, they would have been responsible. They would have been at fault, which is true.
Well, it doesn't. So here's where I'm at. Where you folks? You live in Elma? You're from Elma?
I'm sorry, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Regarding the order itself? So I have no need to talk to them, but the thing is, I honestly think that when they come to their senses, they're going to realize I was trying to act in their best interest. Okay. I did it in not a very gracious way, right? But I am actually a good carpenter, and I think I'm going to be working for them within a couple of weeks because they're going to come to the senses and they need the work done. And they know I can do the work for them, and they're already paying me. And she apparently paying me. And I'll tell you, one more thing?
Okay, yeah.
This has actually destroyed me in business. It's literally put me out of business because all of my insurance, bond, everything came due at October 31st, and I was expecting this money, which would have taken care of it. But because of this whole restraining order that Donna filed in the first place, I couldn't contact even Gene and Diane about it, but I only did contact them because my truck broke. So now I've lost my bond, lost my insurance, lost my license. My truck is broken, so I can't work. And so, I mean, I'll hopefully get that taken care of because they said they are going to pay me. But I just think personally, I think I would like compensatory damages on my side because this feels like harassment for me trying to do them good in a very rude way, I guess.
Well,
and plus one more thing, they could have blocked me at any time, so it's like, do you not know how to block people?
Well, they might not actually, and I don't know whether they do or they don't.
To in that family. I mean, I've texted 5 of them. Somebody has to be tech savvy. Okay. There's younger ones there. I know Donna could figure it out.
Okay, so did you have anything else? Are you good?
I guess
okay. I want to make sure that you and then so Ms. I mean, what is the financial situation right now? He says he's entitled to some additional compensation. Do you agree, disagree with that?
I paid him.
You paid him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To be clear, she's paid me, apparently held out court fees or whatever, which, like I said, I think I'm entitled to everything and some compensation for this harassment is what it feels like.
Okay. So, Mr. Kalich, so I've reviewed I listened to your testimony. I've listened to Mr. Weaver and Ms. Sims' testimony. And I guess I'm going to start by saying, I read the definition of harassment. Something does not need to be threatening. to be harassing. You know, I reviewed, and there's tons of emails here, which are, hang on just a minute.
Okay.
And so here that, uh, and again, that are very, you know, they're just relentless,
May
and
I
that they
address
come
that,
through,
the
hang on,
definition?
let me finish,
Okay,
please.
sorry.
You know, starting at 7:13 PM, 7:14, 3 at 7:14, 7:15, 7:19, 7:20, 7:21, 7:22, 7:23, 7:30, 7:31, 7:32, 7:30. I mean, just relentless. And to say, well, you know, they should have blocked me. That's, you know, you can't, for lack of a better turn of phrase. I mean, you know, this is your activity. You're kind of blaming, they should have stopped me. And so, you know, I do find that I look through the harassments, which I'm not going to read them, but they're quite insulting and demeaning. And, you know, we can argue whether or not they're threatening to them or saying some things are disturbing. But, and again, on the 14th, it starts at 12:10 a.m. and just keeps going. And at one point you call them dumbasses, for lack of a better term. They're saying F you to Shanna, F you, Diane. And then, you know, all kinds of F words all over the place. And it's not a defense to something of that sort to say, you know, well, you should have stopped me from doing that. And so I am going to find that those texts are harassing. And then basically, if you don't have a relationship with them now, and you know, you live in a different county from where they live, I think, you know, it should just be easy just to, you know, they're just not a part of your life right now. And just not to contact them. And if, as you said, that I'm not sure I agree with you based on, perhaps I'm incorrectly reading the room. I'm not sure that they would be enthusiastic about hiring you. I don't know that, but if they do want to, they can ask to rescind this no contact order and go back to ground zero, because apparently they did like the work you did, but you know, no one should have to put up with a string of texts like that. I don't think, but go ahead. Now you wanted to say something. I'll let you do that now.
The only thing is you're misunderstanding my argument. So first of all, I'm
going to stop you, but I'll let you continue, but I'm going to say, I don't misunderstand it. I do understand it. I'm just not agreeing with it, but go ahead.
As you put my argument, you're saying that my defense is simply that they could have blocked me.
No, that's not, you're completely, you said that. And I don't think that's true, but I think your other defense is that I thought that you were trying to help them. And, but I think that's the tenor of these texts is not helpful. So, I mean, yes, you did say that. I did address that, but that's not the whole reason why I'm doing this, but go ahead.
Because what I was trying to do is achieve a good purpose, which is also in the statute, and several good purposes. I was trying to get them to change the locks that night. I was trying to get them to address Shanna's alcoholism that night and have promised me that they would do that so I didn't have to call the sheriff on them. And I had a deadline by Wednesday when I don't think she actually did show up for soccer practice. Now I think about it, she was probably out of town. However, I thought at the time she was going to. So all of these were good purposes. They had a timeline where I wanted some sort of response so that I could quit harassing them, as they say, and get their, you know, some sort of response. And the thing about, I did accomplish, I also think I was trying to bring it to their attention how silly they were in their hiring practices for carpenters, because they just happened to get a good one, but they didn't vet me at all, including a state patrol report or anything. And so I was trying to get them to rethink about their whole hiring practice. If they did hire another carpenter, and their communication process about renters and putting renters at risk when nobody knows what's going on. And I accomplished all those ends through those texts because I guarantee they changed their behavior already about that. So I do think I accomplished a good end with those texts, albeit in a brutal way.
Okay.
So I don't need to talk to the Weavers, but I just think it's frivolous and it's harassment for them to bring it to me. And I do think you should compensate me for this lack of payment through this time, because it's cost me. It's probably $5,000 that it's going to set me back from this whole, because Donna couldn't take criticism in the first place and then blew the whole thing up. I think it's just crazy. And if you do read, I mean, that statute definitely says accomplishing a good end. And I think I was verified by the sheriff. I was trying to accomplish a good end. Even in just limit it to the drinking part and driving drunk as their kids, which is a practice that I observed and nobody else knew about. Also, I talked to Gene and Donna about Shanna's drinking, and they both responded, "Oh yeah, we've known about that. We've known we should do something about that," but they hadn't. And so that's the other reason I was pissed at them that night. Sorry about that.
Okay, so again, you know, I just go.
Plus, the other thing is my pattern of behavior. The only time after, since I've texted them, since the Donna's order, even any of them was about money. And I did text them one more after that court hearing, and I unlashed at you, and I apologize for it. But I did go to them, and I think I have them. They are blocked now, but it was just about money. Okay. And it's just like, pay me my money. So, and then they have paid me my money, but like I said, I don't really care to talk to them. I just think this whole thing is silly, and I think I am the one that should be compensated.
Okay, well, give me just a second here,
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Weaver, or maybe no, you're not. Yes, Mr. Weaver.
Yeah. I'd like to address, if I could, we received a text message that that an invoice by text was a legal document, and that we owed him $10,000, and that was the whole extent of the invoicing at that point. Is a text that we just owed him $10,000, period, for the, as I recall, some reference to the pain and suffering we had put him through. But, and also that we owed him $200 that he had loaned to our granddaughter, which I don't see where we became responsible for money that he apparently freely loaned to our granddaughter. And so the delay in payment has been because I have been trying to figure out exactly what he did for the, what the invoice, that, or a detailed invoice of what he did and where and how much. And we've been trying to sort out what we actually did owe him, and it's considerably less than $10,000 in my opinion.
So I can't make any decisions on who owes who
Right.
what. That's not in front of me. And the only thing in front of me is whether or not an order should be entered. And you wanted to say, I see your hand went up again.
Please. On that note, as a case in point, the whole order precludes communication. We're currently communicating via my brother, who is also the Weavers are his customer in another context, but which would also violate the order. Like, I couldn't even communicate to the Weavers about money through my brother, according to the order, as I understand it. So, I mean, the whole thing is silly. Okay, so I don't need to talk to the Weavers except about money. And
okay, so hang on just a second.
And that's all I need to
say. So did his brother works for you? This is news to me. I didn't realize this. Has he done work for you, or what exactly?
Are you asking? I've known.
I'm asking anybody who knows.
Okay, I've known Dan's brother Ryan for a number of years, and he does home inspections for me.
Okay. And we had to do a home inspection on the property that Dan was working on.
And can accept communication from what's your brother's name?
Ryan.
Through from Daniel through Ryan. So I can put a provision in here from order that third party, just let me finish, please.
Sorry.
Third party contact allowed, where he's not allowed to contact you directly, but he can talk to Ryan. Ryan can talk to you and then work out the money that way. Do you have any objection to that?
No objection.
No objection.
So we can do that. So again, and I appreciate while your effort, I understand what your effort saying is. I'm just saying that the manner of these texts go beyond that. And again, I could give all kinds of examples in here where you're incredibly insulting to them and very rude, and it just goes on, and it is continuity.
Can I ask you?
And so, hang on, just a minute. Remember what I said about interrupting? I'll give you a chance to respond here in a minute.
I appreciate it.
And you said, "F you, Weaver, you effing arrogant dumbasses. F you, effing small town royalty, effing bitches." And that's not an effort to help, really. I don't think
it is. I
Well, I
really
don't-
was
I
trying
don't-
to bring it to their attention
Okay.
how arrogant they
All right.
were, and I think
So
that
hang
if
on,
I had used,
just
okay, I
just
apologize.
a second. I've made my decision. I'm not
All
gonna
right,
argue with
that's
that,
fair.
but you
That's
wanted
fair.
to, you wanted to say something.
No, if you made a decision, then it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
And so, but I am gonna put in here, is your brother's last name
Kalish, correct.
Kalich also?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I ask you?
Give me a minute. Let me get this right. Then you can ask me. Is that Ryan, just Ryan?
Correct.
Kalich, K-A-N. Okay, you had a question. But did you have a question? You said, I did a question. I wanted to finish what I was doing here.
In the order, they asked for, the compensation for attorneys for,
I'm not, there's no compensation. I'm
Okay.
not awarding that.
so they are not awarded any
And
compensation.
no
either
fees.
way.
Nope. I'm not,
Okay.
and so, and if you have a financial situation, so the parameters of the order are, you're not to contact them directly, no, engage in stalking behavior, don't cause them any harm, don't come within 1,000 feet of their residence, place of employment, or themselves. I did write in there on the contact provision, I said, third-party contact from Ryan Kalich is allowed. So if he has this incident, he can tell Ryan, Ryan can tell you, that's not a violation of the order. Do you understand that? But if you say something incredibly insulting to Ryan and he passes it on, then we might be back here. Do you understand that?
Sure.
The purpose of that is so. That'll conclude the order. We're gonna give you copies of the order right now. And then, do they get emailed a copy?
I can email them.
A copy of the orders will get emailed to you folks as well.
It'll be a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And wait, when we get the copies, you can get copies of it and then you guys are free to go.
Okay. Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
Do I just sit here?
Just sit here until, yeah, you can sit there for a minute. And then, when this is copied and they get a copy of it. There's someone on Donna's iPhone. What case are you here for? And then there's a Vernon Thompson.
Sorry.
What case are you here for?
Sorry about that. This is Donna's iPhone. I'm here in support of my sister and my dad, who you just heard their case.
Okay, so then you're free to go, ma'am.